Today, we're really digging into a deal that, frankly, encapsulates so much of the tension, both political and economic, right at the heart of the global AI race. We're talking about NVIDIA's recent huge order for 300,000 H20 AI chips, and they're all heading to China.
Yeah, and this isn't just about, silicon and circuits for you listening. It's really about cutting-edge AI capabilities. It's about that strategic dance between global superpowers and, well, billions of dollars swirling around in the tech market. Our sources here, we've looked at detailed industry reports. Expert analysis are going to help us unpack why this chip, this specific H20 chip, and this particular deal are just so pivotal, really defining the future of AI potentially.
Okay, all right, let's jump straight in then. The big news. NVIDIA placing this massive new order, 300,000 H20 AI GPUs, and they're ordering them from TSMC. Now, this isn't coming out of nowhere. It seems to be spurred by just enormous demand from Chinese tech giants. You mentioned Tencent, ByteDance, Alibaba.
Right, the big ones. And it's a significant restock. I mean, reports suggest there are already maybe 600,000, 700,000 of these H20 units out there, and apparently they're dwindling fast. So this order, it really highlights a critical need over there.
So what's fascinating, as you said, is the chip itself, the H20. It was kind of purpose-built, wasn't it, to get around U.S. export rules?
Exactly. It was specifically engineered to navigate those initial U.S. restrictions that banned the more powerful chips from going to China. Now, interestingly, that specific ban was actually reversed recently, which allows this deal. But, and this is key, export licenses are still required.
Ah, okay, so it's not exactly a free-for-all.
Not at all. It makes the whole channel complex, politically sensitive. You could see this as NVIDIA's direct, very strategic response. They're balancing immense economic pressure with, the market realities in China.
Right, so that brings up the obvious question then. What exactly is this H20? If it's built to navigate rules, is it just a cut-down version of their best chips like the H100 or the new Blackwell ones, or is there more to it?
Well, it's definitely not their absolute top-tier chip. It's not the H100, which is sort of the current workhorse or the brand new Blackwell architecture. But the H20 is actually surprisingly effective for what it is. It seems to be optimized for specific inference workloads.
Inference. Okay, so that's when the AI is actually doing its job, right? Not the training part, but the running part.
Exactly. Think running ChatGPT, powering recommendation engines, that kind of thing, as opposed to the really heavy lifting of training the models in the first place. And the H20 seems to excel here partly because it has high memory bandwidth that lets it process lots of data efficiently in parallel.
Okay.
So in some situations, especially when Chinese firms like DeepSeek pair these chips with AI models that are optimized for cost, it can apparently even outperform the H100 for those specific tasks.
Outperform the H100, really?
For those specific inference tasks, yeah. And the sheer volume matters too. We mentioned maybe 1 million H20s sold in 2024 already. This new 300,000 order isn't just a top-up. It signals these H20s are becoming like the operational backbone for a lot of key AI work in China.
Okay, so we've got the what the chip and the why its specific effectiveness, but this doesn't happen in isolation, does it? This whole deal really shines a light on China's huge long-term ambition in AI. They want to be a global leader. We're seeing figures like expanding their core AI industry to over $140 billion by 2030, and AI-related sectors reaching maybe $1.4 trillion, so that's staggering. How does this H20 deal fit into that picture?
It fits right in. If you zoom out, you see the U.S. and China locked in this really high-stakes race for AI dominance and the H20. It kind of lives in this weird legal and strategic gray zone. So on one side, you have some U.S. national security voices urging the government to reinstate the ban on the H20. They're calling it, quote, a potent accelerator of China's frontier AI capabilities. Basically, they think it gives China too much help.
Okay, that's one perspective.
But then on the other hand, you've got NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang. He's publicly argued against a complete ban. He talks about the importance of China's huge developer community and the need to keep them using what he calls the American technology stack. His fear, presumably, is that a ban just pushes Chinese companies towards domestic competitors like Huawei, which means NVIDIA gets shut out. The stakes for NVIDIA are massive. There are warnings about losing billions in revenue if that whole market gets cut off completely.
So it's this constant tightrope walk, national security concerns versus global market share. This isn't just China buying chips, it's NVIDIA defending its position globally. Because China represents, what, $50 billion potential AI market for them? Losing that could seriously shake up the whole GPU hierarchy. Who's on top in AI hardware?
Absolutely right. It's a calculated gamble. And it also pulls in TSMC, NVIDIA's main manufacturer. Their production capacity is already stretched incredibly thin, more contested than ever. Now, Chinese domestic companies like Huawei are definitely trying hard to catch up in chip design. But NVIDIA still has a massive advantage with its software ecosystem, CUDA. That's hard to replicate quickly.
So what should we, and you listening, be watching for in the near future?
The next 6 to 12 months are going to be really telling, I think. Key things to watch. Will the U.S. actually issue the necessary export licenses for these ongoing H20 shipments? How will Chinese demand evolve? Will they keep needing these specific chips, or will their needs change? And crucially, will those domestic Chinese chip makers like Huawei start making real inroads and getting significant traction?
Right. So as you can probably tell, this H20 chip, it's become way more than just another piece of hardware. It's really a pawn, a calculated move in a huge global game with very real commercial and geopolitical fallout.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, as the U.S. and China jostle for that AI superpower title, and these deals like the H20 order play out, it creates this really delicate balance, doesn't it, between market access and national security. And it leaves us with a big question. How is this ongoing struggle actually going to shape where the next wave of truly breakthrough AI innovation comes from? Which side of this divide?
Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this gave you a useful shortcut to understanding this really critical, fast-moving topic.
For the latest tech insights, visit em360tech.com.